the padded room. We got game news and shit. We're going to start out with an article here about how Fox is interested in getting into the gaming industry with their own consoles and stuff. I don't know if it's actually about consoles or games or what. Again, I don't read these ahead of time. Makes for awesome blunders on my part when I try to do things like read. And it also lets me have a genuine reaction for you guys on the articles too. So feel free to jump in on the conversation and give me your own opinions on everything. That's always fun. Rupert Murdoch's media empire is also a major player in Hollywood, and now Fox wants to become a source in the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry too. So that's what we're going to be talking about here, Fox's little gesture out into the gaming world. We'll see how that works out. Here's the link for you guys if you want to check that out on your own. And again, that link is going to be in the description below for those of you watching on Das Ubentubens. So, Fox Next, a video game unit set up by 21st Century Fox, or Fox A, earlier this year, said Tuesday it was buying Aftershock, a creator of mobile games that is working on a series tied to James Cameron's blockbuster Avatar and its upcoming sequels. Avatar was released by Fox's movie studio. The sequel will be as well, so this deal gives Fox the potential to make even more money from all those blue Navi. Was that how we said it? Navi? Navy? I can't even fucking remember. It was so long ago I saw that movie. I think it was Navi? Navi? Yeah, I don't know. On the moon, Pandora. Fox Next has already made games for mobile devices, PCs, and consoles tied to some of its most successful TV and movie franchises, such as The Simpsons, Family Guy, Ice Age, and Alien. It is developing augmented virtual reality games too, and will be responsible for interactive attractions at the Fox World theme park, scheduled to open in Malaysia this year. I didn't know they were making a theme park. Fox didn't disclose how much it paid for Aftershock, but the allure of gaming is obvious. Shares of Electronic Arts, EA, Tech30, Activision Blizzard, ATVI, Tech30, and Take-Two Interactive, TTWO, have soared this year and are near all-time highs. Demand for their action and sports games for consoles made by Microsoft, MSFT on the stock market under Tech30, and Sony SNE is strong. The three companies are also bolstering their mobile and online gaming efforts. Nintendo, NTDOF, has enjoyed its own resurgence lately thanks to its Switch console and the AR hit Pokemon Go. Augmented reality and virtual reality are expected to be big drivers of revenue and profits for most of the big gaming companies over the next few years. Other tech firms have taken notice of the trend as well. Google owner Alphabet, Google without the E, Tech30, recently bought VR gaming studio Alchemy Labs. I get it, Alchemy instead of Alchemy. I see what they did there. It's fucking funny. Okay, anyways. And the worlds of gaming and traditional entertainment are increasingly converging as well. Increasingly converging? I don't think converging. That's what it was. I was like, that doesn't make any motherfucking sense. Anyways, Activision has set up its own film studio and is working on a series of movies tied to it tied to its Call of Duty game franchise. So it looks like Fox recognizes how lucrative gaming can be. Still, owning the content that's suitable for video games is no guarantee of success. Disney, DIS, on the stock market, shut down its in-house gaming division last year and now licenses its content instead. The next article we have here for you guys is Magic: The Gathering is becoming an MMO. I'm pretty excited about this because I love Magic: The Gathering, the card game, so I'm just saying I'm pretty fucking thrilled about this, and I hope they do it right. I really hope they do, because this could be a really cool fucking game. And again, I do have that link down in the description below in case you want to check this article out for yourselves on the Ubentubens as well. Cryptic Studios and Perfect World, two companies with plenty of experience making online worlds, are creating a Magic: The Gathering massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG, or just MMO. No, it's RPG because there can be MMOs that aren't RPGs. That's why they have the RPG after it. It's a different thing. Good job, writer. Wizards of the Coast, which owns a popular card game franchise, announced the project today. It is promising a AAA game, although it did not offer many details other than it is coming out for consoles and PC. Wizards of the Coast said it will reveal more details and the game's title at a future date. Magic: The Gathering, the card game, has more than 20 million players. It has its own lore and story featuring planeswalkers, characters that can travel between different worlds and dimensions, while we've seen Magic games before, most of them have been digital versions of the card game. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. I'm so excited for this. Could you imagine like creating a character that can walk between different worlds? Like, that would be so cool. I wonder if that would almost be like a rogue character. So basically, you'd be able to like pull yourself into a different dimension, like all the coloring changes, and you can like walk around behind an enemy, and then you come back into the dimension and just like fuck them up. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, but that would be cool. It's Magic the Gathering like you've never experienced before, said Brian Huang. Sounds like penis. Get it, Wang? Yeah, I don't know. Chief Executive Officer of Perfect World Entertainment in a press release sent to GamesBeat. We are ecstatic about the direction of the game Cryptic has been shaping. It's been a dream of ours to bring Magic's Planewalkers to a modern RPG. Cryptic and Perfect World previously worked with Wizards of the Coast on Neverwinter, a free-to-play MMO for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It is based on Dungeons & Dragons, the paper and pencil role-playing game that Wizards of the Coast also owns. The MMO has more than 15 million registered players. Cryptic has also created notable MMOs like City of Heroes and Star Trek Online. The studio is working on the game at its Los Gatos, did I say that right? Office in Los Angeles. Oh, I wish this article was longer, because that sounds so fucking cool. Because if they're promising a AAA game for Magic the Gathering, I don't know if many of you guys have played Magic the Gathering, but it is an amazing card game with so many different types of characters and creatures and abilities. I can only imagine if they made an actual AAA game that was an MMORPG of this. This might top Elder Scrolls Online for me. And I really love Elder Scrolls Online. Like, I'm an avid advocate for that. I'm really excited for this. I really hope they do this. I wish I had more information on it. All right, next article I have for you guys here is video games could boost university skills, a study finds. All right, and again, the link will be in the description below in case you want to read more about it as well if you're watching on Das Jubendubids. Playing video games could help young people be more successful at university, according to a new study. A University of Glasgow trial found gaming improved communication skills, resourcefulness, and adaptability. Researchers suggest this could impact an education success, with students seeing increases in attributes which help employability. Lecturer Matthew Barr said many video games encourage critical thinking and reflective learning. I completely agree. I mean, how many different things do you have to pull back on and remember when you're playing a game? They send you through this like 30-second to maybe 2-minute tutorial. Because I hate long tutorials, so I only like games that have the short ones. But they pack them full of all this information, and then you go play and you're like, all right, what did I have to hit again? So that reflective thinking and thinking back, you know, to what you've done before, and not only that, in stories too. It makes you think back to what's happened before in the story to what's happening now to make proper decisions. I completely agree. This is super cool. I think it's super helpful for people to be able to play video games and help it, how do I want to say this, help them develop in the real world, I guess is how I want to say it. These are central to graduate attributes, which are seen as desirable by employers hiring people after university. These findings suggest such game-based learning interventions have a role to play in higher education, Mr. Barr said. The graduate attributes are those generic skills such as problem-solving, communication, resourcefulness, and adaptability, which are considered desirable in graduates, particularly where employability is concerned. Modern video games often require players to be adaptable and resourceful, and finding multiple ways of accomplishing a task. The way games are designed often encourages critical thinking and reflective learning, commonly cited as desirable attributes in graduates. Skills improvement. The 8-week study assessed undergraduate students randomly assigned to either an intervention or a control group. They were tested on measures of adaptability, resourcefulness, and communication skills. The intervention group played specific video games showing improvements in these areas compared with the control group of over 14 hours of play. Over 14 hours of play. My research is perhaps what every parent may, or in some cases, may not like to hear, Mr. Barr continued. This work demonstrates that playing commercial video games can have a positive effect on communication ability, adaptability, and resourcefulness in adult learners, suggesting that video games may have a role to play in higher education. The games used in the study included Borderlands 2, Minecraft, Portal 2, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, and World of Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos. The study operated on a drop-in basis with students able to come and play specific games on certain days. I agree. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that video games are beneficial? Sony explains why it's rejecting the core philosophy behind Microsoft's next Xbox, Project Scorpio. Last November, when Sony launched the new PlayStation 4 Pro, a souped-up version of its market-leading video games console, it was practically unprecedented. Normally, companies like Sony and Microsoft launch a new game console every 5 years or so, and when they do, the new consoles carry huge graphical upgrades, usually at the cost of instantly rendering year-old games and accessories obsolete and essentially worthless. But the PlayStation 4 Pro was different. The new console provides a big graphical boost, provided you have an Ultra HD 4K TV, and yet it plays every last existing PlayStation 4 game out there. It's something that's never really been done, and And it's led a lot of people to wonder if this means that the traditional notion of the console generation is finished, kaput, rip. No rip. That sentiment is only enhanced by the fact that Microsoft said its forthcoming Project Scorpio console could signal a major slowdown for those generation console cycles. It's promised to work with every single Xbox One game, a growing selection of older Xbox 360 games, and your existing controllers and accessories. I'm cool with that. It's an idea that's won some cautious approval from gamers and critics, but Sony isn't having any of it. As PlayStation Global Sales and Marketing head Jim Ryan and Sony Interactive Entertainment America CEO Sean Layden told Business Insider in a recent interview. There are probably the same people who predicted the demise of the console in 2012, Ryan says, likening it to the ultimately unfounded panic that smartphones would destroy the video game console market. The notion of the game console generation hasn't really changed, says Layden. It's just that tech cycles are getting shorter. In the old days, from 2000 to 2012, you could release a new console every 5 to 10 years and roughly keep pace with major advances in technology, Layden says. Those days are just gone. Along those lines, PlayStation 4 Pro isn't so much a refutation of the notion of a console generation so much as a reflection of that new reality. If you can't release a brand new console as quickly as you can launch upgrades to the old one, for a simple reason that it takes developers time to get started on the new platforms, Layden says. So when it comes to PlayStation 4 Pro, it's definitely part of the PS4 ecosystem, says Layden. The implication is that Sony doesn't see it as an experiment in challenging the norms of the video game console market, so much as it is a way to keep up with the rapidly shifting technology landscapes as it prepares whatever moves it might be planning next. That's backed up by the fact that Sony doesn't seem especially interested in making PlayStation 4 compatible with older games. In a separate interview with Time, Ryan went so far as to question why anyone would want to play older games on their current consoles. Sony seems to be looking to the future, not the past. Because we love our old games! Dude, we don't just play a game once and want to stop fucking playing it. We'll play games over and over and over again. Are you stupid? That's the dumbest statement I've ever heard in my entire... I'm sorry, triggered. That was fucking stupid. Ahead of the release of Project Scorpio later this year, the most visible part of Microsoft's master plan is a program called Xbox Play Anywhere. Under this program, certain select games give you a free copy of the Windows 10 version of a game if you buy it for Xbox One, and vice versa. That's cool. The idea is to bring Windows and Xbox closer together. Just like Apple lets you own the same app on an iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV, Microsoft wants your games to be available on whatever device you're using. And, importantly, it means that upgrading either your Xbox console or your PC means your game is still playable. See, I like that because he's not looking at it as like, why would anyone want to play an older game? They're looking at it like, people love their old games. They know that we like to play them. They know that they're not just going to sit on our shelf and gather dust. I almost said shit on our shelf. Of course they're not going to shit on our shelf. Games don't have bowels. Anyways, they're concerned about us and what we want and what's going to make us enjoy gaming more. And that's why I love Xbox so much. Don't get me wrong. PlayStation, awesome, awesome, awesome exclusives, awesome graphics, all that stuff. But I love that Xbox cares about the gamer and about the gaming experience. I will never diss Xbox about that. It's personal view, of course. You're entitled to your own opinions. From Sony's perspective, this is interesting, but not really relevant so long as developers that actually make the games aren't signing on. Right now, there are only about 24 Xbox Play Anywhere titles, mostly published by Microsoft itself. And without that buy-in, says Ryan, it's a somewhat marginal play. And when it comes to games, well, Ryan says Sony has them in spades, and that's what matters. Yeah, no. You can have a bunch of games, but if you're assholes that only care about the money, I mean, it's going to bite you in the butt eventually. All right, guys. Again, I do appreciate you being here, and I love you a whole bunch. Thanks for tuning into the Padded Room, where we bring you game news and shit. And again, I will catch you on the flip side. Bye! Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. Okay.